Hello everyone, my name is Eduardo. I work for a gaming company that's based here in Vancouver and also in San Francisco. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about how we implemented monitoring in the DevOps team in our company. So one thing is, traditionally companies have a NOC team that is responsible to do the triage, the escalation, and also go through runbooks, right, and connect to the right things to resolve the problem. And one thing that this model doesn't work very well, right? So the problem is, by the time the right people is involved to troubleshoot the incident, it's already 10, 15 minutes into the incident. So what we learned in our company, you don't really need a NOC. So you can automate that process using a tool such as PagerDuty, for instance. But the trick is, you need to filter the alerts into the source. So whatever is the origin of the alerts, ping on Azure, or Sensu, or whatever tool, you need to define what's critical, is not critical. Only send, of course, the critical to PagerDuty, and then escalate to the things that you're responsible. So another typical workflow problem is we put ops team on call to PagerDuty and leave to the ops guy to do the triage and eventually escalate to the dev team. And of course, that put the burden of the NOC into the ops, and the ops guy needs to think, wait, is this problem an application? Should I escalate to the developer? And this doesn't work very well either because of the same reason, right? By the time the developer is involved, it's around 10, 15 minutes into the incident. So what we learned is there's a better model that is, of course, the DevOps. You guys are familiar. Is put the dev on call as well in parallel. But the difference is we don't put the dev in the ops on call rotation. We put the dev to receive the alert at the same time as ops because you have multiple games. And each game developer knows only about his game. So we need to set up alerts that if one game is down, only the developer of that game receives the alert at the same time as the ops team. So the right person receives the alert, right? But in order to that be feasible, for every game, we ask the developers to prepare 3 health checks for us. The first one is very simple, ELB health check. It doesn't page anyone. It just remove the server, the app server from rotation if it fails. So it's very lightweight. The second check is system level health check. So it detects like system, CPU, disk memory, even backend like database, main cache. And if it fails, it pages only the ops team because the ops team is able to resolve that kind of alert. And the last type is application level alert. So this is typically generated by some bug in the application. And we measure warnings and errors. And for this type, both the dev and ops team are paged at the same time. So in this case in particular. The application type can be further broken down in server-side errors or client-side. In our case, we have mobile games, both in iOS and Android. So if the alert, for instance, is caused by the client side on Android, for instance, only the client engineering side is paged, not the server side. So, so just to give some numbers, our ops team in our company is 8 people. We put 32 developers on call as well in PagerDuty. We have roughly 20 games. Another tip is use a big display to show the dashboard, the status of the game. So the advantage is, in a quick view, you can see the status of your games. We have in the big display above your heads this dashboard. And if some problem goes down, of course, if a game goes down, the display goes red, we detect immediately, visually. But the advantage is if multiple games go down, or if a particular health check goes down, you can quickly correlate what is the root cause of that problem, right? And finally, the last tip is use RC bot, whatever RC instant messaging you use. So in our case, we use Skype. So you see Skype detects the outage and they start to communicate on the game channel of that game. So every game has an ops channel. And all the stakeholders are involved. In this case, it was application error, so both the ops guy and the dev guy were involved, and they started to troubleshoot immediately. And there's a lot of transparency. All the stakeholders of that game, the PMs, the engineers, are in the channel, so they can observe and they collaborate. And finally, when the problem is resolved, our Skype bot also detects the health checks now passing and sends the all clear. So you have the history, all the communication, and very transparent to everyone. So that's what I had to say. Thank you very much.